What's up, YouTube streets? I'm your girl Drea, and welcome to Drea's Corner. Thank you for stopping by and tuning in to my channel. So today's video is going to be about my review on the Aaron Hernandez documentary on Netflix. Okay, so I watched this series this weekend, as well with a couple other shows that I did a review on earlier today. And so, like I said, I did watch the Aaron Hernandez documentary, which was very interesting. There's been a couple documentaries on Aaron Hernandez from the Lifetime and Oxygen channel or whatever, so it was interesting to see the documentary on Netflix. And I have a couple thoughts about it. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section. So I'm trying to figure out where to start. So first of all, let me just say that there was a lot of families affected by Aaron Hernandez decisions, okay, that he made. Now, I know when he died, it was put out there that to the media that I guess what do you call it? He had a cellmate lover or a jailmate lover or whatever the case may be. Basically, it came out, you know, they were trying to spin the narrative of that he was gay. And that was also talked about on the documentary. I'm not even gonna lie, as I was watching the documentary and stuff, I was saying to myself, Lord, this man is too fine to be gay. He was too fine, like too fine for that. I don't understand it. But anyway, I personally have a hard time believing that. I don't know. I just do. I just have a hard time believing that he was gay. I don't know. I don't know. Like I say, you let me know your thoughts and opinions. I do know that that was discussed on the documentary, you know, allegations of him being gay. It was like a childhood friend that was on this documentary with his father, who was a gay male. And he basically was trying to say, like, when he was younger, him and Aaron had a couple experiences together. I know they talked about his Aaron Hernandez father, how he was very much a macho man, and how important he was in Aaron Hernandez's life, and that he was homophobic. Okay. They did talk about that, and was saying how, you know, devastated Aaron was when his father passed away. They talked about how Aaron's mom, so supposedly, like, Aaron Hernandez's mom, once his dad passed away, there was this cousin, I can't think of her name. I want to say it was Tanya. I watched so much stuff, I can't keep these names straight. But I believe he had this cousin named Tanya who was suffering from cancer or whatever the case may be. And he was really, really close to her. She was like a mother figure to him. Well, when Aaron Hernandez's mom passed away, I mean, sorry guys, not his mom. When the dad passed away, the mom started dating her cousin's husband, okay, and basically moved him into her household, okay, and that was a big major issue for Aaron. I know his brother talked about how they had like a roommate, not a roommate, I'm sorry, a friend or a babysitter who was like a teenager or something like that, and that this babysitter would have them play hide and go seek or whatever. And he basically was like saying that, you know, like the babysitter was a teenage boy. He would make the brother go hide and go hide in a closet. And he said he would be in the closet counting down for a long time and wondering why he was in the closet so long. And he said that supposedly the babysitter would take Aaron in like a tent or whatever and do all kind of weird freaky stuff to him or whatever the case may be. I just have a hard time believing that he was gay. But, you know, the question is, that still remains, is why did he kill Odin Lloyd? Like, what was it? Supposedly Odin Lloyd had caught him in a compromising position or knew something about Aaron that caused his death, that Aaron wanted to have him dead. I don't know about the gay stuff. I just don't know. I don't put it past him. I mean, he grew up with a very macho like father who showed him what he felt a man should be like. And so I don't know. I just have a hard time believing that, because I know when I first heard it, when all this first was going down and they came out and said that it came out that he was gay, I was like, really? Like, these are the type of narratives that they pushing out. Either you're a pedophile or you're gay, one of the two. And I'm just like, every time it's like some type of celebrity scandal, it's like they either on drugs, overdosing on drugs, they pedophiles, or they're gay. It's one of the three. You know, I just, like I say, I still have a hard time believing that he was gay. I don't know. But, so, like I said, I talked about the friend, the childhood friend, what the brother said, the mom. So they also played like jailhouse phone calls, recordings from Aaron talking to other people, like his wife, his cousin, his mom. And, you know, I know he talked about how Aaron was saying how his mom screwed him up, and supposedly he dealt with a little child abuse or whatever, possibly maybe from the father or mother. But basically it seemed like Aaron had a lot of animosity or anger towards his mom. And I'm just talking about all this stuff because I know that certain things shape people, you know. Prime example, let me just go off a little bit. I was bisexual. I was being with women, you know, in relationships, and, you know, I was in homosexuality or whatever. And I noticed, I've been doing it since I was 15 years old, okay? And from what I have noticed is that let me just say this. I don't believe in people being born gay. That's just my own personal opinion. Even when I was with women, I felt this way. I didn't feel like people are born gay. I feel like, from what I've just experienced and what I've seen, is that people tend to, I believe our first examples of how to deal with people and relationships come from our parents, right? They're the first man and woman that we deal with, okay, that shape our lives and how we handle situations. From my own personal experience, I have noticed that a lot of people that tend to be gay, they have either been raped, molested, sexually assaulted, or whatever the case may be at a young age, exposed to sex at a young age, especially with the same sex. Or like, let's say it's a male, they probably grew up in a household full of females, you know, and was raised by nothing but women and had nothing but women around them. So they may have either grow up gay or having feminine, you know, qualities, or have feminine ways about themselves or whatever. So I'm saying all that. Or what was the other thing I was gonna say? So usually they may have some type of bad experience with the opposite sex. That's just what I've seen in my lifetime, just people I've ever dealt with. A lot of times when they've turned gay or whatever, it's usually from trauma, childhood trauma, their experiences growing up. You know, just like prime example, let's say a gay female, let's say if she's like a stud, and let's say she somehow has a child, she sleeps with a man and has a child, and let's say she's like a stud. I've seen where their children, like say if she has a daughter, that daughter because that's who she grew up around. That's what she sees. That's what her example has been as a mom. That child grows up and starts trying to be just like their parent, and now they're dressing like a man and acting like a man. This is just what I see. So I'm saying all that to say, you know, he could have very well been gay undercover and just, you know, hid it for so long because he was taught that that's not how a man should be. You know what I'm saying? So he probably was on the down low. I don't know. I just have a hard time with that. They also talked about how like I said, he had jailhouse calls or whatever. It seemed like he had an issue with his mom, especially when she started messing with the cousin. Seemed like he had an issue with that. What else? Let's see. They gave his brain. So after he passed away, they went ahead and sent his brain away for testing, and it came back that he had like this thing called CT. I think it's called CT3 or something like that. I could be saying it wrong, but basically saying like he had this brain injury or whatever that, you know, causes him to not make the best decisions or whatever the case may be. And they said it was very severe for his age or whatever. So that too could have played a part in his decision-making skills, because not only was he accused of killing Odin Lloyd, he was also accused of 2 other murders prior to him, I think, becoming like a major football player or whatever, and he was acquitted for those. Do I think he killed Odin Lloyd? Definitely. The evidence is there. Like his own camera footage sealed the deal for him, as well as just a lot of different stuff that led up to that. Like there's camera footage from him driving from one place to another, cell phone towers, you know, text messages, because Odin Lloyd sent a text message to his sister in the middle of the night letting her know who he was with. And to me, that it almost came off as if Odin Lloyd knew that there was an issue between him and Aaron, and he didn't feel comfortable with going with him, that he wanted to let somebody know what was going on with him. So it's almost like he knew what was up, like that there was an issue going on, and he felt the need to let somebody know where he was at. Now, what was the beef about? I don't know. Maybe he knew Odin was gay and he was going to come out with it, or bisexual, whatever you want to call it. Maybe he was going to come out with it, or maybe he knew about the 2 murders that he had committed prior. I don't know, but he definitely killed him. I mean, his camera footage shows him coming back. He in the house walking around with a gun in his hand. You know, it just was a lot of incriminating evidence that I think he had got so comfortable and so used to getting away with stuff and doing stuff that he didn't think it all the way through. There was a blunt that had been lit up that was left at the scene of the crime. It just was really sloppy. It just was really sloppy. I mean, as I was watching it, like I felt for those families. I teared up watching it because it was just so sad. Just the amount of times he shot him was as if he definitely wanted him dead. He definitely wanted him out of here. Like it's just really sad. And then to see the 2 sisters, Cheyenne, his wife, Aaron Hernandez's wife, and her sister, like, that shit was crazy to me. Like how these 2 sisters were pinned against each other. You know what I'm saying? Because you have one who's trying to be loyal to her husband and trust and believe her husband and protect her husband, and then you have the other one whose boyfriend has been murdered by her sister's boyfriend. Like, it was just so much. It was just so much all up in one. And I have to say, Cheyenne is really a down-ass chick, because she really held Aaron down through all of this, okay? To where, you know, her and her sister wasn't even on good talking terms. Like, they having to battle against each other. You know what I'm saying? I know that's probably had to be really hard to deal with. I feel sad for all the families involved. For Aaron's family, his wife, his daughter, his brothers, his mom, his entire family, on top of Odin Lloyd's family, on top of those other 2 guys who were murdered. everybody in this situation, it's sad. It's really sad. I think that it wouldn't surprise me either if you know, like I said, that CT injury caused him to act like that. I don't know. Because I know, like, I've watched documentaries where they've talked about, like, the concussions and, like, with football and how, you know, it messes with their brains, how they get concussions, or if they're taking steroids, how it increases their aggression and how they can be very, you know, bad things can happen, you know. So I'm wondering, you know, if maybe it was his, that CT, whatever you call it, CT3 or whatever. I'm wondering if that was the reason why he was so aggressive like that or whatever, you know. I think the documentary was, it was pretty good, you know. It was it was very detailed, a lot of information in there, just different perspectives or whatever. Like I said, I still struggle with, him being gay. I don't know, it just kind of seemed odd. It just seemed like they was just trying to find anything to just throw out there as to why this happened, because it's crazy. Like, look, it's almost like, you know, part of me wonders, did he really kill himself? You know, like, I just don't understand. I don't know. That is one of those crazy situations. And then it came up that maybe he did plan it, because when he died, he left some letters. He had wrote out some letters. I know one was to his wife Cheyenne, the other one was to his daughter. And I know in the letter to his wife, he wrote, you know, and underlined, "You're rich." You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be rich. And so it came out that I guess in the state that they're in, there's this law, basically, like, say you're being convicted of something, right? Say you're going to trial for something, and let's say you pass away before the verdict has been set or whatever. It's like all those charges are dropped and thrown out. So it's almost as if, like, he did that purposely, one, to not tarnish his legacy, which is already tarnished, but, you know, I guess so that it's not documented that he was a murderer or whatever the case may be. But yeah, those charges got thrown out because he passed away while he was in prison. So I know that probably that hurt the family a lot, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I found that interesting. It was just a really interesting documentary to watch. You know, like I said, it just, they was spinning the narrative of him being gay and down low, and I just don't know how true that is. I don't know. I could see if maybe, you know, a couple lovers came out and said something, but I don't know. Y'all let me know your thoughts and opinions. I do think that, though, just from hearing what he dealt with his childhood and everything, he almost kind of came off to me like a narcissist, low-key. He almost seemed like a narcissist, but I just feel like, you know, a lot of his past, you know, from his childhood growing up, I feel like all that played a part in who he became as an adult. I think it's really sad, you know. Like I said, as I was watching, I was like, man, his wife is really a down-ass bitch, because she was really holding this nigga down, like, you know what I'm saying? She even, it seems like she may have even helped him get rid of evidence, okay? You know what I'm saying? That's how down she was for him. Mind you, these were childhood sweethearts, you know? So, I don't know. It was a very interesting documentary. I do think his past from his childhood and just being wealthy on top of that, created the monster that he turned out to be, you know. And it's very sad because he was very good looking, you know. He really was. He was a very good looking man, had a great future ahead of him, you know. I really wish he would have thought things through. I think because he had got away with those 2 murders prior to him becoming this big time football player, and on top of getting money and the recognition that he got, I feel like it blew up his head, and he just felt like he could do whatever and get away with it. you know, and unfortunately his family had to pay the price, and he had to pay the price with taking his life. You know, it's very sad and unfortunate. But yeah, y'all let me know your thoughts and opinions down below, and I will catch y'all in my next video. Bye.